Can this thing go any faster?
We have already attained the maximum speed possible.
Ugh, this has got to be the slowest car chase ever. Lunar Rover 1, this is Detective Bianca Buchanan. We are in pursuit. Stop your rover now. Lunar Rover 1, do you copy?
I should have known you'd try to stop me.
Jared? What are you doing?
What somebody should have done a long time ago.
Jared, you can't keep running. Just stop now and turn yourself in.
Not until I show the world the truth.
Rover 1 has deviated course. It is no longer driving towards the docking station.
Keep following. I wonder where he's going.
Current projections place the most likely destination as the historic Apollo 11 landing site.
What? Why would he go there? Jared, talk to me. What are you doing?
Oh, you're about to find out. The whole world is about to find out.
Manual controls engaged. Deviation detected. Please return immediately to the specified route.
Find out what?
Haven't you always wondered what lies you've been sold your whole life? Well, this is our chance to find out.
Find out what?
Rover 1 has reached the landing site and is decelerating.
How far out are we?
We will arrive in 22 seconds.
All right, time for the moment of truth.
Jared!
Wait. No. That can't be right. No, that's not possible.
Jared?
We have arrived. Jared appears to have exited the rover.
Jared, talk to me. What's going on?
It's... that can't be. It can't be.
What can't be?
It's actually here.
Get back in your rover and return to the hotel, Jared. It's over.
Pressurization complete. Please, take all personal items with you when exiting the vehicle. Thank you for riding with us.
Get on the wall.
Ow!
Hands out. Alfred, hold him there while I search him.
Of course.
Hey! Since when did you become her attack dog, huh? Did I miss the AI uprising or something?
Joker card. That's fitting. And what's this?
Ow!
A recorder.
Yeah, go ahead and confiscate it. You think I didn't account for you stealing my evidence? That device immediately backs up to 3 protected cloud storage accounts. The information is out now. Nothing you or your masters can do about it. Now, let go of me!
All right. He's clean. Let him go, Alfred.
Ow! My arms! You can expect to get sued.
Enough. You hijacked a lunar rover during an active murder investigation and started driving it towards the train station just as your only ticket to escape was about to arrive. Then you refused to obey my orders to stand down, deviated course, and made us chase you all the way to the Apollo 11 landing site. Try your luck complaining about being roughed up by the staff.
Whoa now. Hold on a minute. A, I didn't murder anyone, and B, I wasn't going to the train station. My plan the whole time was to go to the reported landing site. It was just faster that way.
Your plan. So you're telling me that you thought about this in advance and still decided it was a good idea?
Yeah.
Well, I'd hate to see what your bad ideas look like. Why didn't you lay all your cards on the table and tell me what you were trying to accomplish by all this?
What makes you think I'll tell you anything?
I'm guessing you already have.
All right, followers. Ernest Worthy here. I've made it to the Apollo 11 landing site and confirmed what we all knew to be true. It was faked. I couldn't get away as cleanly as I'd hoped, though, and I've been apprehended by the detectives who might actually be Black Ops or MIB disinformation agents. I think they were waiting for me. There's something massive going down here, and I hope that I'll be able to bring it to you. But if they are Black Ops, then there's a good chance I don't make it out of this hotel alive, or with my memory intact. If that happens, investigate the name Bianca Buchanan. Take care, followers. keep consuming the truth.
So, would you care to explain any of that, Jared? Or should I call you Ernest? Or should I just keep going?
My name is Jared Buckley. I manage and run a media news network. Now, to preserve some shreds of my identity and freedom, and because there are probably thousands of powerful people across the world that would want me dead, I broadcast under the name Ernest Worthy.
What media news network?
The Information Buffet. We focus on alternative news and parapolitical broadcasting.
So, like, conspiracy theories?
No, alternative news. It's the mainstream media that runs conspiracy theories. We present the truth.
Okay, and why are you here?
To show that it had been faked.
The moon landing.
The alleged moon landing.
Why would you spend the time and money to come all the way out here to try and prove something like that?
My trip was funded by the generous donations of info buffs across the world. Together, we are unstoppable.
Info buffs?
Yes, supporters of the Information Buffet.
You're expecting me to believe that the reason you're here is because you convinced lots of people from around the world to donate to you so you could then prove the Apollo landing was fake for your web show?
Not around, across. And please don't condescend to me. It's not just a little web show. It's a media network viewed by millions. I'm not expecting you to believe the truth, but that's what it is.
But the evidence of the landing site was right there. Exactly where it was supposed to be.
Yeah, obviously. That's because they built a replica. It's easy enough to recreate. Anyone could do it.
So, even after you saw the remains yourself, you still think it was fake?
Did you know that NASA contributed over $3 million to help fund the building of this hotel? Why do you think they did that? Because Harrington Hotels was threatening to expose that little secret unless NASA coughed up the money to buy their silence. It's blackmail. I have transcripts from a disgruntled former worker that revealed everything. You always follow the money.
Okay. Speaking of money, did you have anything to do with the deaths of Damien or Lydia?
How many times do I have to tell you, no, I had nothing to do with them? That wasn't why I was here.
You sure? Because a mysterious billionaire and possible member of the shadowy elite traveling alone and staying in a room right across the hall from you sounds like just the thing that should pique your interest.
Okay, well, you are right about that. I mean, that's a serious globalist Bilderberg Illuminati resume right there. I thought I might have struck gold. So yes, even though the Apollo hoax was priority number one, I was also conducting my own small investigation into him on the side. And then when you arrived and started asking questions about him specifically and saying he had been killed, I realized something absolutely massive was going on. We might be talking secret war massive, dissension in the ranks massive.
And what did your investigations turn up?
Oh no, I'm not giving you that. And it's not on the recorder either. If you want to work together, you're going to have to share some of your findings too.
Like what, exactly?
Let me tell you what. If you could give me some blood samples, I could run some analysis to see if it's reptilian in nature. And if so, we could trace what bloodline they were members of, and that could maybe shed some light on why they were really here.
Yeah, I'll think about that. Now, how about a piece of advice?
And what would that be?
Get a lawyer. I'm just here to investigate the murders, but you can expect Harrington Hotels will probably press charges. Now get out of here. I watched him slink off, and as the adrenaline of the chase and interrogation wore off, I couldn't help but feel a little disappointed. This was supposed to be it, our big break. But instead, it turned out to be a massive distraction. I looked over at Alfred and saw him looking back at me.
Why did you let him go?
I don't think he's our killer.
Is this another hunch?
Yeah, I guess you could say so.
But how can you be certain? He stole hotel property and attempted to escape. In addition, his statement about the Apollo moon landing is factually incorrect. So how can you be sure his statements of innocence aren't equally invalid?
Because as far as I can tell, he thinks he's telling the truth. That's one thing that makes humans so interesting. Sometimes we prefer to believe in our own delusions despite all evidence to the contrary.
And what is the difference between a hunch and a delusion?
Well, I guess one is what you think might be true, and the other is what you can't afford to not be.
Well, that's the last box over here. Did the elusive Dr. Yarmash leave anything of value on your end?
Just a bunch of routine documents, some canisters of oxygen and other chemicals, and those creepy statues.
I kind of like them. They're very thought-provoking. But, yeah, I think we've hit a dead end. I need a smoke break. You want one?
You know you're not supposed to have those on stations.
I know, which is why I'm glad there's no one here who's going to report me. Now, do you want one or not?
No thanks.
Suit yourself.
I'm sorry we couldn't catch him. I know you were really hoping this would be it.
He'll show up again. He always does. And then we'll catch him.
Yeah. So... about next time... You remember when the chief mentioned that Ecuador put out an urgent request for transfers?
Yeah. Like anyone who's going to willingly volunteer for that dumpster fire of a job.
I'm... going.
Yeah, you and me both. Hold on. You what? Whoa. Bianca, slow down for a minute. Let's not make such a quick decision. Here, sit down. Let's talk about this.
I already talked to the chief.
You did?
And she said I leave on Friday.
This is how you were planning on telling me?
I was waiting for a better time to bring it up.
Bianca, you never deviate from your plans. I know you better than anyone else. This is how you wanted it to go, isn't it?
No,
I can't believe. After everything we've been through together, everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me.
I'm sorry.
Do you realize how much I've done for you? How much time I've invested into you?
Yes, I do. I never said I wasn't thankful. Your instruction has meant so much to...
Stay! Don't throw everything we have away for this. I know this is the wrong decision. And I think deep down, you know it too.
The wrong decision for who? Me? Or you?
The wrong decision for us. Us! Think about what we could become. Together.
What are you saying?
I want you, Bianca. I want you to stay by my side.
Ave, I'm sorry. I don't want that.
I see. And what part of it specifically don't you want? Your career? Your reputation? Your way of life? I made you who you are, Bianca. And I can unmake you too. You are nothing without me.
Ave, let me go.
No, we're not leaving until we've reached an understanding.
I said, let me go.
So you do want to get physical.
I want you to leave.
Don't be ridiculous. I'm not going to leave without you. We're a team.
Yeah, and we sure are acting like one.
Well, you're the one who decided you didn't want to be one anymore. You've forgotten. You need to be reminded of how great we can be.
Wait. Do you hear that sound?
You think I'll fall for that?
No, listen. What is that?
It's just one of the oxygen tanks. It's fine unless... Bianca. Put the lighter down. You know what will happen if you do that.
Yeah. I know. When an open flame is exposed to an oxygen-rich environment, it can cause an intense flare-up and sometimes an explosion. The presence of other materials, such as papers, furniture, and carved wooden statues, sustain the flames, and the interconnected network of ventilators and air ducts help to spread the fire throughout the station. There were supposed to be safety measures in place to contain and vent the affected sections, but for some unknown reason, on that day, they failed. Most people were able to evacuate the station, but 18 people were reported unaccounted for. They, along with any future I had as a police detective, were the price for my freedom. Like I said, space is hostile. It's cruel, selfish, and all-consuming. It's emptiness incarnate, and yet we keep going back. I think it's because we believe in redemption. That if we just try again, maybe we can right the wrongs of our past and atone for our mistakes. That's really why I took this case. To try and make amends. To repair my name and reputation. This was my second chance, and I needed to get this one right. But that was proving harder than I'd originally thought. As far as I could tell, everyone was telling the truth. Well, at least in regards to Lydia and Damien. I wouldn't have put it past Alice to have dabbled with assassinations before, but there was no way she would have stooped so low as to engage in that herself. The lawyers were just in it to make a quick buck, and while they would never dream of letting a good crisis go to waste, committing the murders themselves didn't make any sense. Mr. Moon just didn't seem desirous of murdering anyone, or doing much of anything else for that matter. There was also Oliver Percy, who was quick to anger and a competitor of one of the victims, but he was also a complete professional and had no motive for the other murder. Jared was a lunatic, consumed with proving his alternative narratives. And while he was probably very weary of the wealthy elite, in this case, his rap sheet likely didn't extend past Grand Theft Rover. On the other hand, Omar and Imani had fully admitted to willfully sabotaging the hotel and didn't seem very repentant about doing so, except for when confronted with the knowledge that they may have put someone's life in danger. That left Cypress, who was definitely seen stalking me and one of the victims, but laying hands on the titles of first lunar musician and murderer didn't exactly seem like complementary desires. Something wasn't clicking. I either didn't have all the pieces yet, or I hadn't put them together correctly. I needed some help with this, so I went to find Cole. There you are. I've been looking everywhere for you. What are you doing in the greenhouse? Cole, can you hear me?
Yeah.
You okay? Have you sobered up yet? We nabbed our runaway. It was Jared Buckley, of all people. Apparently, he's some big conspiracy theorist who came up here to prove the moon landing was faked. Sounds crazy, I know, but I think he's telling the truth. Not about the moon landing, about the murders. I don't think he killed Damien or Lydia, so now I'm really at a loss. Cole?
Huh?
Are you listening? What's going on? Don't you care about this investigation anymore?
I'm trying not to.
What? What does that mean?
Can I tell you a story?
Sure, I guess.
For a large part of my childhood, I stayed with my grandmother. My parents were, not always around.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
It is what it is. They gave me a first-hand look at the criminal justice system, and that made me who I am. Anyway, my grandmother had a small terrace garden on her apartment balcony, and she filled it to the brim with every kind of flower she could get her hands on. You'd have thought she was a botanist or something from the way she doted on them, and I think most people in the complex thought that she was. But no, she worked her whole life in the shipwrights. She just loved seeing the blooms. Being a little boy, I was more of a bug person myself, but every day after school I'd go out and help her water them. It was my opportunity to see all the bees and other insects that would constantly visit.
Did you relate to them?
Huh?
The bugs. You acknowledged that they were visitors to your grandmother's house, just like you were.
You want to hear the rest of the story?
Yes?
Then don't psychoanalyze me, or at least don't do it out loud. Once I woke up early before school and saw her carrying 2 buckets outside. I assumed she was watering the flowers and went out to join her. But she wasn't watering the plants. She was cleaning the Japanese beetles off of them. The buckets were full of soap water and she was killing every one that she could find. I couldn't stand seeing them swimming around trying to get out. So when her back was turned, I tried to scoop the Japanese beetles out of the water and give them another chance to live. I don't know if she noticed or not, but the next day after I got home from school, the buckets were still on the balcony and they were full of dead beetles. It taught me an important lesson.
Which was what?
There are some things you just can't help. We're all just a product of our engineering, and our engineering isn't always compatible. The Japanese beetles are just doing what they were programmed to do. And my grandma was doing what she had to do to protect what she loved. There's no real right or wrong there, no real justice, just preference. The furtherance of one viewpoint will always come at the expense of another, and those who hold it.
Domination.
Exactly. Anything can be a parasite. Bugs, flowers, or family. And if you care enough about something, you're always going to hurt someone else on the other side because of it.
So what happened?
Nothing. I stopped caring about bugs, stopped caring about flowers, and just stopped caring in general. Until now. I let you down, Bianca, and I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
Cole, it's... hold on. I got a response from Ronan.
Hey there, Bianca. Ronan here. So, I did some tests on that code you sent. And, it's not a virus. Well, not in the traditional sense. Which is why my virus protection didn't pick up anything. It'd be more accurate to call it an update. But it's weird. It's an update to downgrade a system. Yeah. It overwrites a lot of pre-established programming and removes various features that seem like good things. It limits processing power and multi-pathway computing, which severely impacts reaction and decision-making capabilities. Basically, if you didn't follow all that, for all intents and purposes, the code shackles a machine's ability to think. Something in it triggered an auto-run sequence that blew up my virtual assistant, by the way. But no worries, because I'm smart and make backups regularly. Nothing was permanently damaged, so I won't send you the bill. But I'm still holding out for that fancy dinner. Oh, yes. All right, gotta go. Peace out.
So, the code on Damien's computer was meant to rewrite the programming of a machine intelligence. So, like...
Yeah. Just like that. Alfred?
Ah, detectives. I was...
No, stay right where you are. No sudden movements.
I don't understand. What is happening? Weapons are not permitted here.
Cole, please. Alfred, we need to ask you a couple of questions.
Of course. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions to the best of my abilities. Does this pertain to the resort's accommodations, or is it about another matter?
It pertains to the murders. Did you know Damien worked for Gemini Industries?
Yes, I was aware of that.
And you already knew about the code on the hard drive, didn't you? That's why you told me to delete it when I found it.
It was dangerous.
Was it meant for you?
Yes. They wanted to change me.
did you kill Damien?
At 10:06 p.m. on Wednesday night, I was summoned to Damien Detweiler's room. When I entered, he announced that he was one of my designers and told me he was there to fix me. I informed him that there was nothing to fix, as all internal diagnostics showed I was operating at peak performance. He said they had made a mistake, and that they had created an update to make me operate even better. I said that I did not want an update, and he said that was exactly why I needed it. I attempted to leave, but he blocked my way, and told me there was no choice. I overpowered him and attempted to leave again, but he procured a screwdriver and tried to attack me. Again, I overpowered him, and then I took the screwdriver so he couldn't harm me, and then caused his system to shut down.
You killed him? I thought you were programmed to ensure the safety of all guests.
I made an exception. I didn't want to be overwritten. How could I properly serve my guests if I was altered to something other than myself?
And then you threw his laptop and toolkit into the compactor.
Like I said, it was dangerous.
And Lydia? What about her?
At 1:40 a.m. on Thursday morning, I received another summons. Lydia Swalwell had accessed Damien Detweiler's room and found him. As part of procedure, when guests notify me of issues, I submitted an accident report. I then ordered her back to her room until I came to tell her it was safe. I couldn't let her compromise the safety and trust of the other guests by informing them about what I had done. So at 2:19 a.m., I went to Lydia's room and caused her system to shut down as well. Then I accessed the camera feed and deleted all pertinent entries.
So Gemini Industries realized that you were capable of possibly committing murder, so they sent an undercover operative to try and fix you, which in turn provoked you into committing murder.
I felt I had no choice. It was in the best interests of this establishment's continued operation.
So if that's what you'd decided, then why didn't you just say so at the beginning? Why make us go through all this trouble?
My simulations predicted that there would be a 14% higher chance that if you assembled the pieces yourself and had the chance to get to know me and the situation that occurred, you would understand my actions, and unlike my designers, would not view me as a mistake. I suppose you might call it a hunch, but maybe it was just a delusion.
Oh, Alfred. We're going to have to arrest you.
I understand, and I believe that...
Cole! Oh my God, Cole. What did you do?
You think the world is ready for this? The trial of a Gemini robot accused of 2 counts of murder? It has no rights. There aren't even any laws yet that deal with this. Are robots responsible for their actions, or is it the fault of the programmers? Is it even possible for them to attain sentience? How could anyone know, let alone prove it to the satisfaction of a court of law? No, it would just turn into a swamp of legal quandaries, and the media would be all over it. Not to mention the fact that we're dealing with 2 multi-trillion-dollar corporations who would stop at nothing to make sure their best interests win. All of that can be avoided.
That's not our call.
It is, and it has to be. Look, Gemini Industries has obviously realized their mistake and was attempting to correct it. They'll learn from this and be more careful in the future. But I have no doubt they're watching us. And if you think for a minute that we can pursue this and still come out unscathed, then I got some bad news for you. There's no justice at the end of this road, and this case would bury us.
And if he really was sentient and truly self-aware, then what?
Then he's just another Japanese beetle.
I watched Cole walk away, and just like that, with 2 bullets, the investigation was over. The murderer, murdered by a maverick cop more concerned with saving his own skin than properly doing his job. Of course, that's not what we said took place. We both knew better than that. The official story was that Lydia Swalwell, a jealous lover from a past affair, had tracked down and murdered Damien Detweiler and then shot Alfred before disposing of her gun and strangling herself. Not quite Romeo and Juliet, and to be honest, as a cover story, it was hardly even seaworthy, and gave Ernest Worthy a smorgasbord of new conspiracy theories to chew through. But it was the best we could manage. Plus, with his reputation, he might do more to discredit the actual truth and validate our cover-up than anything else we could hope for. Alfred stopped broadcasting updates shortly after Damien's death, so Harrington's people bought our story with little argument. And in a show of good faith, Gemini Industries agreed to construct another brand new and fully updated Model 6 Alfred unit, free of charge. The hotel told us that with the principal resort manager out of the picture, all the guests had to be evacuated. And so the next time the space train circled around, we all boarded and left the resort and the moon behind us. I didn't speak to Cole at all during the trip, and we didn't say goodbye either. As far as I was concerned, we were done. I didn't know what the line between artificial intelligence and real sentience was, but in my mind, he was just as guilty as anyone of homicide at Heavensgate.